Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Malik, the cool brother, once again, and you are now tuning to another interview episode of the Cool Podcast with the Cool Brother, with yours truly, the good brother Malik. And my special guest for this evening is a good brother. He's been rocking the stage ever since I've been up here in the 412. He's doing it in the Pittsburgh hip hop scene. He's a veteran in the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you my second guest for this evening, the good brother Shel the Philosopher. What's going on, good brother?
I can't call it. Appreciate you having me. It's crazy now to hear like I'm being referred to as a veteran of the music like up here because to me I still feel like I'm a rookie who's just like getting their foot like started in it. So it's crazy to hear like the veteran, but I guess I have been doing a little bit here, a little bit there. So, but no, it's a pleasure to
Hey,
be on. You
man.
know what I'm saying? It's a pleasure to be in the presence of another good brother. So it's a pleasure to be here.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Appreciate the compliment. So, won't you tell the listeners what you do and what you're about, good brother?
So for me, like music is always I might even say music, writing, like poetry is really how I got into it, and like it's always just been like my best way of expression. And then as I started going on, I just started making certain connections, certain friends, and I started turning it over, like turning my poems into music, and then just found like a very rewarding style of expression in a sense, whereas like I could blend
Mm-hmm.
genres of mine that blend genres that growing up were taboo or people were wondering like why I was listening to it. But now it's like I can blend those same genres and take the ear that I have for music and I can add it to, what's my first love is music, which is like hip hop and R&B and soul music. Like those are like that type of music is my first love. That's what really got me into music to begin with. So
Right,
being able to
right.
take those more abstract styles like the industrial rock, like dream pop, like different types of like EDM house music, and still keeping like a hip hop base, like that's more or less what I try to do. And I for me, like I love collaboration. I'm very big, especially in music, on collaborating over competing, because I feel like my friend Caleb says it all the time, but like a raising tide like raises all ships, and that's something that like I really try to strive to. So I like to collaborate, work with like a few artists, like Samurai or my guy Barbados Black, good friend of mine's Cookie Low, Sir Lord. My guy Roscoe at the Rap Cave. Like I like collaborating and working with a lot of people, and then even like helping them, just finding their like whether it's finding their own voice, finding their own form of expression that helps them. Like that's something else that's like just very rewarding to me. Like it's one of those things, like I know what it did for me, and then being able to pass that on to other people and help them get that same
Mm-hmm.
feeling, like it's honestly, it's low key, even it's more rewarding sometimes than being on stage and being the center stage. Sometimes it's like my guy Sir Lord, like we got a show
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow, and the last show that he
Okay.
did, like watching him, like when I first started going into the music scene, seeing like his progression from like how his performance has gotten so much more impactful, and it's partially because the music that he's putting out he believes in it so much. And I like I've had that conversation with him, was like, perform it like you believe it, don't perform it like you're just passive about it, like perform it like this is the best thing in the world. And getting to sit back and
Yes.
watch him like just rock the stage, and watch him work the crowd and the confidence he's grown, like those are things for me that like I honestly keep me in music every time that I'm like, why am I doing this? Every single time like I see one of my friends or one of my colleagues, every time I see them get on stage and just kill it and get up there and be themselves and continue to evolve, it like challenges me to continue to up my game. And that's where I keep finding, like, it's almost like the fountain of youth. It's like I keep finding like new life in it. So
Right, no doubt. No question, no question. Now, you mentioned artists Barbados and Samurai. Shout out to them. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in, watching this, you can check out my episodes of Barbados and Samurai on Spotify. So tune in with that. Now, speaking of those two artists, they like your constant collaborators. How did it felt collaborating with them two and performing with them on the same stage?
um wait, sorry, I kind of cut out there a little bit, my bad, sorry.
No, no, you good. You good. How did it feel being on stage and collaborating with Samurai and Barbados Black?
Honestly, it's hard to even really put into words because like before like I was collaborating and working with them, I was like literally like fans of their music. And as I said, like, and I tell them all the time, like anything I can do to help them get their art out there more. And then, just having them in the studio or like with Sam Ray with Straight Thoughts, like me and her song that we have together, having her be able like come to the studio and her being able to embody something that like that that makes the song what it is, like adds like an attitude to it that like was I needed it. Or like with Barbados, me and him are, it's hard to even explain, like me and him are just kind of locked in. It's like mentally, especially like even on stage, like we just are able to like go off of each other in a sense. Like there's a lot of times where like with our song Dark, when we're performing it, like it's been something that's just continued to evolve, and me and him have just gotten like better at it every single time we performed it because we but one, we both love the song, but at the same time, we're both perfectionists in terms of like performing. So it's like every time we go out there, we keep trying to like get better and kind of. And there's also those parts where if we're performing, like to everyone else, it might sound great, but we'll notice that little small thing, and then we'll make the change, or we'll talk about it. And that's something that like especially with Barbados and Samurai as well, that like we collaborate a lot, and the reason why our collaborations work, and even like having them on stage with me works, is because we're very honest with each other. We don't just tell each other like what we want to hear. Like if something's good, we'll say it's good. If something ain't good, we'll say it's not good. We won't bash it and kill somebody's dreams about stuff, but we'll be like, well, what if
Right.
you work on this? What if you change this? What if you try this? What if you do this? There's different ways to there's different ways. And for me, I just feel lucky, honestly. Like I do, I feel lucky and blessed to be able to have my music critiqued by people whose music I genuinely appreciate. And then whenever they ask me for their opinion, for my opinion on their music, they actually, for them to even ask for my opinion in general is humbling. But for them to actually then go apply the stuff, and then for them to kind of look at me and be like, yo, you were right, because it's the same thing that like I've said to them whenever they've told me something. I'm like, you're right. Let me try it that way. So it's really just like a
Hmm.
team effort, and that's the thing. And like our common bond is like our genuine love for the music. It's like the love, like our love for the game in a sense. And so that's more like the collaborating with them, and then getting to have them on stage. As I said, it's something where like in my mind, like because I wanted to put the whole thing together with the band and everybody, and it's in my mind. I didn't think it would be something possible, but I'm also one of those people where it's like you don't know till you try it. You know what I mean? So that's how I felt
Absolutely.
about that. It's like I don't know how, I didn't know how it would look on stage with all of us up there until all of us would be on stage. And then once I saw it, and then like saw the videos back, once I heard it, and even being on stage, like it just felt really great and amazing. So I'm just, like I said, I'm
Yeah.
just lucky and humbled to even have them on stage and share the booth with me at times.
Yeah. No question. No doubt. I can imagine. Now you mentioned the song Dark. Now, who came up with that title, and what's the premise behind that song?
Um, so so I wrote that song like back in like 2020, or like 2021, and it was just a song that I was like sitting on. Like the original beat that I had bought for it wasn't available, and like every part of it, like the girl that's like talking at the beginning, it was all something that like I kind of had envisioned. And the only thing I knew was like I couldn't do the hook for it. The Because the premise behind the song is more or less like, we all have choices we have to make in life, and sometimes we make the right choice, sometimes we make the wrong choice. But something that I learned just through life is that there's never, you're never too late to turn and get back on the right path. But sometimes it requires you like looking in the mirror, being honest, and saying like, yo, I gotta do this, I gotta break this habit. So the song itself kind of comes from like, it's a part of a whole story. Like the album itself is like all of a story, and that song is kind of like right in the middle, where like the main character kind of has like his moment, like his moment of clarity, where he's like, I'm risking everything for something that doesn't love me back. And it's like I can either keep going down this path of self-destruction, or I can start the healing process and just rip the band-aid off and get to it. And in order to do that, sometimes you have to go to like dark places. Like if you're traveling in a dark place, and in order to get through it, you have to keep going through that dark place sometimes, or that dark phase. And so that's where
Mm-hmm.
like the title came from, dark, because it was like it was stuff inside of me that like sometimes I don't even want to admit because I feel like it's too dark, or it's like it's too cynical in a way. And the song just kind of represented me kind of taking my power back in terms of just my life, my own mental health, and even like music in terms of what I want to do. It was me saying like, nah, I got this. And then to have Barbados kind of come in and be like the cherry on top, where he's like, where he came in, he heard me like record the verses for it, and then like I just asked him to be on the song, and then he laid down his part, and then like I just went home and I was listening back to it, and I was like, Jesus, this is a hit. Like we got something here.
Yeah.
And I mean that's the song we close almost every show with. And every time
Yeah.
we close it, we have people dancing, because it's just like it's a hard song not to dance to. Like not to pat myself on the back, but I definitely think I wrote
Mm-hmm.
like a very like I wrote the song so that like it maintains the rhythm. And then Barbados came in, he just comes in, he kills the hook and just keeps everything going. And it's like, as I said, it's that perfect balance where we just kind of balance off of each other. And so it's a song that I'm like extremely proud of, and it's one that like I'll put against anybody's song, because that's just how proud I feel about the way it was written, the way it was performed. Like I'll go on any stage and perform that against anyone, because I know there's not the likelihood of someone else bringing out another song that sounds like that can get people dancing, can get people moving, and still have like an actual message behind it, not just be a bunch of filler that or a bunch of just sayings that like just for reactions. Like no, there's an actual genuine powerful message behind it, and I think that's something that people feel every time I perform it. So it's one of my favorite songs, and it's called Dark, but it doesn't make me actually feel dark. It's like it really makes me feel like every time it makes me feel like I'm taking a burden off of my chest in a way. So
Yeah. Okay. Nice. 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 That's what's up, man. And how did it feel y'all two performing with a band? Because I saw clips of y'all performing with a band like in Millville, right? Y'all did y'all perform with a band in Millville,
yeah,
or was that no
yeah, we've done it twice, two
Millville?
years in a row now with the band. And I mean that's something
Uh,
that like
uh,
we're getting more locked in with now. Like we're
yeah.
like our band, like the band name's like Shel and the Wretched Hearts. And originally it just kind of started like there was this artist named Liz. They were two of them were like part of her band, and I was just like kind of working with them, like making songs or like recording, filming, just just kind of hanging out, just being around them. And like one day I don't even know what we were doing, but we kind of floated the idea about them performing just one of my songs, because there was a song where I was like, what if we did like a rock remix to this? And then what
Mm-hmm.
happened was we went from, all right, let's just do this one rock remix, to, all right, let's go perform together. Like let's go. And then once we started practicing and hearing how it sounded, and it was like they took what the songs I had, and they added another layer of like emotion and depth to it. And honestly, I've always been like a huge fan of like rock and roll. And it's not even just
Yeah.
just like all types of rock. Like my favorite band's AC/DC, but like my second favorite band is
Oh
Placebo.
yeah.
And I don't know if you ever heard of Placebo, but like they're a
No.
band that they tried. Yeah, I highly recommend it. They tried out. They tried so many different things and so many different styles. And for me,
Uh-huh.
I didn't, like I said, I didn't want to limit myself to just rap, because growing up, like I exposed myself to so many different genres of music that it's like I want to try these different genres. I want to try to create something that's honestly that's never been heard before, as opposed to keep trying to do the same thing everybody else is doing. Because I don't know, it's just for
Mm-hmm.
me. Like I mean, I understand where trends can be trendy and they can lead to you growing popular and everything like that. But I feel like whenever it's like your own original style, it's like it sticks with people. It sticks with people,
Mm-hmm.
or just people like me, I should say, because I don't want to say everybody's like me. But I know there are a lot of people that love music that's experimental, but there's still a rhythm to it. You know what I mean? Like where it's going all over the place, but it's still like in these boundaries where you can still dance to it, and you can still move and groove to it. So for me, like with the band, they just added like a whole nother dimension. And then we added like our bass player Luca, and then once we added him, it just took our sound from, like he said it, like we kind of have like an arena sound. It took us from, sounding like big to like, okay, like this sound could feel like it fills the room. And that's one of the
Hmm.
things I love about playing with the band, is that like it's an immediate attention grabber once we get going. So I really,
Yeah,
I'm like,
nice,
once
nice.
again, it's another thing where I'm just thankful and humble that they decided, like, all right, well you can be, you're the lead singer or lead rapper or lead vocalist in this band. Like it's once again, it's just
Yeah.
like I keep feeling, I'm gonna keep using the word, but like just lucky and humble that these artists, these incredible musicians have like looked at me and been like, hey, we want to work with you, like, because it's not just not even like my band, like there's other bands that I work with too, like this one band Faded and Jaded, they just released their
Hmm.
project a couple weeks ago, and to actually sit in on some of the sessions for that, but also have them featured on like my projects as well. Like it's been, like I said, it's just the community that I have around me and the artists and the network that I have. It's like when I first got started into music, I didn't think I would be able to have all this. I genuinely didn't, but it's to be able to have the artists, the musicians, and the producers and even like the videographers, the photographers, like just the whole little like universe or realm that's like kind of floating around me. Like I'm just lucky to be in it, I should say.
Hmm.
And that's
Yeah.
and I just, the more I do this, and the more I stay engaged in music, the more it seems like these good things keep coming to me. But I also believe part of that's because like I'm not here trying to like, like screw anybody over. Like like I said, I love music and I love the expression of it. Not even like, because like if I never make a dollar off of
Yeah.
music, I genuinely will be fine,
Hmm.
because like it's something I'm getting this expression out. It's something that's helping me in a very pure way, and being able to pass that on to other people. That's something that I think, if I'm being honest, the world could use a lot more of. Instead of everybody just being selfish and trying to chase after a dollar, if we did things
Right.
that made us happy and actually like did things that made us feel rewarding or like fulfilling, like those are the type of things that I
Hmm.
think would make people themselves a lot more happy and a lot more social and a lot more inviting and a lot more engaging. But
Right.
that's a fever dream, and hopefully one day that
Yeah.
dream comes true, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Wishful thinking, but hopefully it will come to fruition. Be a reality for sure. Now, my next question is, now before I ask go to the next question, what's the name of the band that you're in again?
Oh, Shell and the Wretched Hearts. Like, yeah, right now we don't have any music
Shell,
out, but we're
Shell,
Shell and the Wretched
okay,
Hearts.
okay, Shell and the Wretched Hearts. Now, are y'all gonna go to the studio one day to record original material?
Oh, that's literally what our plan is. Like we've already been like talking about it and discussing it. Like we've had like jam sessions where we've been cooking up music and just laying like the groundwork
Hmm.
for it. And our last show for this year is December 18th. And then once that's done, we're going to basically take like 3 months off and just lock in and try
Okay.
to try to get as many songs as we can. And hopefully we stumble upon like our first single or so. And but even like with myself, like I'm still going to be releasing like my own solo music, but we're going to be like focusing on my focus, especially after December, or even now it is getting that music done, or getting the process started. I don't want to say getting the music done, because who knows how long that'll take, but getting the process
Yeah.
going where it's like we're starting to think about like, ooh, like, because I know they've sent me over solos they've done where they're like, ooh, I think this will be good. We've had like I said, we've had multiple jam sessions where we're coming up with
Hmm.
multiple stuff. There's been jam sessions where I'm sitting there and like I might have like a rock beat in my head, and then being able to like go to them and be like to Tyler, who's the guitarist, and be like, hey, okay, play like this, and then go to Luca, who's the bass player, and be like, play like this, and then have Penguin play like this, or just being like, hey, I heard this riff in my head, and then have one of them play the riff, and then literally just fill in where, because that's the thing, where we're very in sync, and we all like have our own different styles of music, but it just blends
Hmm.
really well together. It's like it really does. Like we're like four misfits who don't belong together, but it's like the music is what keeps us together, because it proves like our synergy and chemistry, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that it makes perfect sense for sure. Now, when you joined the band and you had your vocals over the instrument, was it very difficult at first? Getting accustomed to performing with the band instead of performing with a performance track.
Nah, it was honestly it made it easier because I and I got to give them all the credit for that. They've the ability for them to pick up stuff or hear something and be like, "Ooh, let me play it like this." And for me, I've always like, even no matter what the performance is, I usually like project and yell into the mic anyway. And I usually don't have
Hmm.
backing vocals when I'm performing. So like I'm very used to like performing and projecting and like that's something Samurai can tell you, and even Barbados, that like it was an adjustment that
Hmm.
they had to make where like, okay, now you can't just sing it like a calm voice because now you got a guitar screeching behind you. You have a bass like literally causing vibrations, and you have a drum like literally being beat to beat to death. So, that's something they've adjusted to, and it's like sometimes can be difficult for them. But for me, that was just how I always performed, and partially I kind of got lucky because like I played basketball and like I've played in front of some like very big crowds, and when you're playing in front of a big crowd, there's a lot of noise, so you have to. I learned how to like project my voice in a way where it can cut through noise, and that's the voice I
Right.
kind of use, especially when I'm on stage with the band, is like that one that can cut through, or not cut through it, but like adds to it, so that way you can still hear me and it doesn't take away from the band at all.
Okay. All right. All right. And speaking of the band, um, do you consider about doing poetry with the band one day while you're performing,
Um,
or you just gonna stick with rapping?
I wasn't thinking about it until you just said that right there.
Ah.
Like there's definitely songs and some things that we wanted, like even with like my own songs that they're performing now, there's bits and parts where we like have extended it to be able to like tell more of a story while we're performing, because that's something else. Like I'm huge on storytelling, and
Yeah.
so I definitely think a poem in the right place will definitely like add to it, or poems multiple, like because they could be like segues into songs, or they could be like the end that leads to something else. So like, yeah, you might have just, yeah, my mind might be spinning after that. Now you might have just gave me a couple ideas.
Yeah. Go for it, good brother. Go for it, man. Go for it. Shoot. You know what I'm saying? Go for it. That'll be dope for sure. Now we did talk about the artists you collaborated with. Now, switching over to the poetry. Now, were there any poets that you collaborated with in the past that you recorded with or just shared the stage with?
um, there are, and I feel bad that I'm like forgetting them, because it's been a while since like that's something I need to get back out there, back into, is the poetry scene. Because I ain't gonna lie, I went out and did like there was like an open mic, and I did like my poetry there like one time, and it was more nerve wracking than performing with a band or performing, because it's like it's such a vulnerable thing where it's like it's just you, it's just you and your words, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's something. But I mean, I really do feel bad about that, because like it's like it's in my head, like your name's Kane, like Kano. um I feel bad because
Yeah.
like me and Trell, we hosted like a poetry lounge, and there was this one sister. She killed it. She killed it, and like the
Uh-huh.
thing she was talking, I really wish I could remember her name, and I feel bad about that. Like she did though. She killed it. I know there's like the cannabis queen. Like I fuck with her shit too. I mean,
Yeah.
sorry, I like her stuff too.
Yes.
I'm trying not to curse.
No, no, you good.
Um,
You good. Yeah,
um,
she's dope. She's dope.
I mean,
Yeah,
even your stuff, the good brother. Like I enjoy that. Like I do, because I think
thank
it's
you.
uh like I
Yeah.
for me, and this is, what I mean, and I can do better with it myself, like the way you show up to perform, dressed to the nines, dapper Dan, like casket fresh, like I think that's well, no, I think that's great
Casket
present.
fresh.
I think that's great presentation, because I think more,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, more black people need to see that. Like we need to see that, like that type of dress, like, because that's, I ain't gonna lie, I mean, it's been a while since I've done it, but I remember what Easter Sunday used to be like when we go to church and everybody's popping out with
Hmm.
their good suits. You know what I'm saying? I know what it
Yeah.
means to be have your Sunday outfit on. Like I know what that means, and it's like I know for myself, I can feel good wearing streetwear and all that, but whenever I got a suit on, I don't know. It's just I feel different. I mean, you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
It just hits different.
Yeah.
My one guy also, Vaughn as well, like over at the Poetry Lounge in Millville. He's and
Yeah. Shout out to him. Uh huh.
he's one of my favorite poems and poets in the city because he really does just take it in so many different places. And that's
Yeah.
what I like about it. It's very unorthodox. It's very you can't guess what's coming next. It's not predictable at all. And that's something that, I mean, even just being around here, like that's the more I've gotten into really multiple Pittsburgh scenes, whether it's poetry, rock, hip hop, the pop scene. The one thing I found is there's so much talent, like raw, genuine talent here. And
Yeah.
a lot of times, if if they just collaborated, we could make something
Yeah.
so much bigger. But it's like everybody wants to compete because everybody wants to be that number one person, not realizing that like that number one spot isn't real. Like it's not
Right.
like I have my fans the same way Samurai has her fans, the same way Barbados has his fans. Now, do some of them might, interlap? Possibly. But we all have our own separate followings. We all have our own separate things. And I think whenever we come together and we bring all that together, we can make some insane scenes that will literally live in people's minds and live in Pittsburgh lore for the rest of the time. But I just think like there's a lot of competing. But I do feel like there's starting to be like more working together, especially of collectives. There's starting to be more people wanting to come together. I mean, I know every time I'm around any collective, that's something I'm always preaching to them is like, man, listen, we should be all working together, not working against each other. Like we can all put on amazing shows. We can all do a bunch of incredible things for the art scene around here. And it's just like we just have to lock in on that because like Pittsburgh has a very rich art history. Pennsylvania has a
Hmm.
very rich art history, and it's just one of those ones where
Yeah.
if we come together and really try to put it together ourselves, we could do some incredible things. And I think it's starting to move towards that area. And I'm gonna do
Hmm.
everything in my power and my ability to make sure that it is moving in that area. I might not be able to do much, but you got to do something to be if you want to make a change. You got to do something. You can't just sit and be a bystander and then complain why things are the way they are. Like sometimes you got to roll your sleeves up and put your hands in the dirt and get to work. So that's
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
But no, I definitely
Yeah.
I do need
Absolutely.
to check out some more poetry. Like just whether it's open mics or just poetry events. Like I think Barbados literally just posted about one earlier today. Like so, that's something I'm definitely going to tap back into because also that style of poetry, like hearing poetry, and then because it motivates me to get back to writing poetry. And when I'm writing poetry, that's usually when I feel like I write my best music because it's from the heart. And it's from the heart in a way that sometimes even like it hurts me to write it because like it's the things like I might not want to admit this or I might not want to say this, but it's like the art and the words themselves just they flow out because they have to, because it's
Hmm.
if that's the only way I'm gonna heal and the only way I'm gonna continue improving and getting better. So but no, I
Yeah.
definitely do need to like tap in with you guys and get up on. Does wine and poetry, are they still throwing events? Because I never actually was able to make it to one
Uh.
of theirs.
I think I think they're taking a hiatus for the moment. You know, I don't know when the next time they're gonna throw an event, but it's been a minute. I think they on a
Well,
hiatus. I don't know when they're gonna come back. So,
I mean,
you know,
speaking of
I'm just assuming
collaboration,
right there.
I was say, speaking of collaboration, me and you maybe me and you should throw a poetry event. You know what I mean? Like, we could definitely like. I know I got like there's venues that I could definitely like tap in with. There's like so like I'd
Yeah,
love to that I think that would be something dope as well. Like especially like the
yeah.
poetry lounge. Like I feel like we could put on a great event there.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. I could we could co-host or co-host. You know, I'm with it, man. I'm with it. You know, I'm definitely with it for sure. Definitely with it. And I know you mentioned your favorite like rock artists like AC/DC and Placebo, and and I know you're a huge fan of R&B and soul music. Who's your favorite artist in that genre of music, R&B and soul?
Oh, you're killing me. To say who's I'm just going. I can't say who my absolute favorite is because then I'll think like take that back. Michael
Yeah,
Jackson, my absolute favorite. But but
well, who your favorites? I know you said
um
Michael Jackson. Who's your other
so
favorites?
so for R&B, I'm gonna take it a little bit back here. Like Teddy Pendergrass, Curtis Mayfield,
Ah,
Otis Redding.
yes.
Loved her. I genuinely do. I just love like the soul and projection in her voice. Um, from the 80s. I think he's underrated, and people they only think of him as like a Chappelle Show sketch, but they don't realize that he's one of the baddest MFers to ever touch the stage. My man Rick James. Like people don't know about the song Ebony Eyes. They don't all they know is
Yeah.
Super Freak, but they don't
Classic.
know about
Yeah,
they don't
classic.
and they but if they hear Ebony Eyes and hear him going back and forth with Smokey Robinson or hear Fire and Desire and hear him going back and forth with Tina Marie, they'd understand why he's one of the
Yes.
baddest men to ever put it down. Prince, obviously, he's a very big inspiration just for me because I feel like the way he just unapologetically did music his way. That's something I definitely strive to do. Um, I don't hate to say it is what it is. Like In Vogue is one of my
Oh
like
yeah.
like that was my
Uh,
mom. That was one of her favorites. Like same like Patti LaBelle. It was another one of my mom's favorites that she was playing all the time. Lauryn Hill. Um, See, that's what I'm saying. I can Casey and JoJo, which like I like them when they were part of Jodeci,
yeah.
but when they released "Tell Me It's Real," that's one of my favorite
Yeah.
albums of
It's a
all time.
classic.
Like to this day, like to this day.
Yeah.
Like
Classic. Yes.
so I'm trying to like not get into like the 2000s, but like for mm, problem is I can still keep going. Like Mary J. Blige is another
Oh
one of my
yeah.
all time favorites. Like I just love her music and like growing up that was another one of my mom's favorites and that was something about like that I felt lucky about that like my dad and mom they both exposed me to a lot of different genres. Like my dad he exposed me to rap, but he's also the reason why I love like saxophone because the jazz albums he would constantly play. Like
Hmm.
I genuinely um I'm trying to think. Well, and I guess I'll go to rap. Like rap wise, it's sometimes all over the place. Like I like Tupac's like my favorite rapper, which is why I feel like it's all over the place because he himself was kind of like almost like a dual person where part of him was a revolutionary, but part of him still had to be like the ghetto rapper. So like
Right.
I genuinely like Young Jeezy is motive like is one of my favorite rappers of all time. My cousin Cal got so many of his songs stuck in my head to this day that
Hmm.
like if I
Yeah.
hear it I can easily I might not have heard the song in years, but if I hear a certain beat, I can recite the song like all the way through. I'm trying to think. Lupe Fiasco is another one. Wale, I don't think he gets enough credit. I think like he's a super dope artist. Like his 11-1-11 mixtape, that was literally like the soundtrack to my senior year. Like that and his album Ambition. Kid Cudi is another one that I genuinely
Uh-huh.
I don't know where I would be if I didn't have the song soundtrack to my life. Like I don't know. Um, I mean he's gone crazy, but Kanye before he went crazy. Well, we're all crazy.
Right.
Jay Z
Right.
is another one that I love. Ice Cube, like when I was younger, I wasn't supposed to be listening to it. We ended up getting the
Yeah.
CD by accident, but my mom
Yeah.
accidentally bought me NWA's greatest hits, like the cussing version. And let's just say
Yeah.
every Ice Cube verse on there, I know, like by heart to
Yeah.
this day.
Yeah.
Um, Same thing with like MC Ren, who I think is like I don't know if you ever heard the song Mayday on the Front Line. Like I love how much of a real revolutionary he really was because a lot of people when they hear the word revolution they might think of some painted I don't want to say painted they don't think of revolution the way it actually is and if you listen to MC Ren I definitely think he does. Another artist that I love I should have mentioned it with the soul side Gil Scott Heron. I absolutely love it. He's an amazing poet. Has one of my favorite songs of all time. Well, he has two of them. Like one's called "Me and the Devil," and the other one is called "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised." And then hearing his explanation for why, when he says the
Yeah.
revolution will not be televised, he means because it has to start in your mind. Like that's where the revolution starts. Nobody can see the change that happens in your mind, and then once you start exploring, once you start actually showing it, then that's when it can pop out. So he's another one like I said, there's so many artists. In terms of like even the Gorillas, like I love when they do hip hop stuff, but yeah, I do like music wise, like I'm all over the place. Like Janet Jackson, also I don't know. I forgot to mention my baby. That's my lifelong crush.
Yeah,
My lifelong crush
yeah,
is Janet.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Still gorgeous. Yes.
Still gorgeous. Still, I still
Yeah.
would risk it all just for her. So, um,
No doubt.
but
Who
yeah,
wouldn't? No
uh,
doubt.
yeah. So like my musical influences, like I said, I don't even think I like scratched the tip of the iceberg in terms of like the because that's just like the R&B and the rap people that I like and hip hop people that I like. I don't even say rap, hip hop people that I like. Also, I don't know. Oh my god, I forgot to mention Nas. See, this is what I'm saying. There's so many people that I like. I'm going to naturally forget people, but like Nas, I
Yeah,
like his world building and storytelling. That was something that I got into it in the music a little too late to really appreciate Slick Rick like I should have. Also, another, I
hmm,
mean, take that back. I do because the show with him and Dougie Fresh, that's literally a song I listen to before every time I go and perform, and that's something that's like me and my mom's. That's one of me and her songs where it's like she can do the Dougie Fresh part and I'll do the Slick Rick part. Like
yeah,
it's that type of thing. So,
yeah,
um, yeah, music wise, like I am like I love. That's why I said I genuinely love music. Like I love it. Like not just rap
yes,
and hip hop and R&B. Like music. Like just in general. Like one of my favorite artists is Johnny Cash, and like
yeah,
people might feel how you feel about him, but like that's one of my favorite artists. Like that's one of the reasons why like I usually dress in black because of him. Like he really he's been a big influence on me. So and on top of that, like well, and another one like Muddy Waters. I don't know how many people are into like blues like that, but Muddy Waters,
yeah. I heard of
he,
him. Yeah, I heard of
he's
him. Muddy
the
Waters. All
hoochie coochie man. Like
that.
he's that's that like
Yeah,
Howlin' Wolf, like those type of artists, especially like the blues people that set the ground road for us to be able to even make this music that we do nowadays. Like
yeah,
they're I definitely feel like they don't get appreciated enough. But that's like I said, like I because of my background and where my family comes from, I've been exposed to all types of music. Like shout out to Yolanda Adams too. It's my favorite gospel singer. Like and Mary. Like that's why I said like I genuinely can go like all over the place with it because I've been blessed to be exposed to so many different types of music, and I'm not a closed-minded person. If I hear something that I like it. I don't care what I don't care what if somebody else likes it. If I like it, I like it. That's how I rock with it. So, um, but yeah, sorry, yeah, I could go on all day
no, no,
about that. Yeah,
no,
sorry.
no. You good? You good? Oh, you. I mean, I know you familiar with Robert Johnson.
Oh yes, of
Robert
course.
Johnson. Yeah, yeah.
So
Robert
like
Johnson and
it's crazy.
he.
I'm literally making a song about him right now too.
Oh wow.
Like
Oh yeah.
about
What's the name of it?
I haven't figured out the name for it yet, but it's going to be involving like the crossroads about him meeting up with Willie Brown on the crossroads and like did he sell his soul? Did he not sell his soul? Like the song I talked about from Gil Scott Heron earlier, like Me and the Devil, that's
Yeah,
literally a cover of
yeah,
one of Robert Johnson's originals. So like nah, I'm familiar with old Rob. I mean, he's literally the whole reason why uh the devil is in music. I'm doing air quotes because no one actually knows if he sold his soul or not. But
yeah,
hey, he was a bad boy for that time period. But I mean, listening back to that time period where they weren't thinking about being recorded, they were just thinking about playing great music and entertaining people. It's to me that's some of the best, most rawest music, and yeah, I mean, honestly, I've even been getting into like orchestra music. There's this one Italian composer named Montevani. I've been getting into his stuff. Like, he has this one album. I'm probably gonna say the wrong name of it, but it's like Gypsy Fire, Gypsy Soul. But it's I highly recommend it if you like instrumental, like instrument orchestra type music. Like I said, I genuinely love all types of music. It's like a sickness of
yeah.
mine.
No, yeah. Music heals the soul, man. Music heals the soul for sure.
It
Music
does.
heals the soul. Now, speaking of Gil Scott Heron, I'm pretty sure you heard his joint Whitey on the Moon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what you think? What you think of that?
Well, once again, that's what I'm saying. Like back then, they were really about the revolution. Like they were really
Hmm.
about it, and they were really about black empowerment and black improvement, and
Yeah,
at any cost too. So I there was what's the one song of this? It's like Buff, not Buff. It's not. I'm punch myself in the head. It's like Winter and might be Buffalo Winter or something, but he has just
Hmm.
a lot of songs that like I. It's someone that like every time I go through his discography, I always not only find new things, I'm also reminded of songs where it's like I forgot about this one. I forgot about the message that he's really preaching, and that we ourselves have to come together and unite because if it wasn't, Whitey would want us on the moon. So, sorry,
Yeah,
but actually, I might go listen to that song after this. Because once again, it's been a while since I heard that one. I was listening to Revolution Will Not Be Televised earlier, but I might have to go back and pop that one. And like another one of my favorite ones from him is like "Home Is Where the Hatred Is." Like
yeah,
it's like that's one of my like just favorite songs of his. Just like the pain in which he sings. That's another thing about it. It's like it's not even that he's a great singer. There's the pain in his voice. Like you can hear the
hmm,
life he lived in the way he sings, and to me it's always like haunting, and it like sometimes it can even give me goosebumps whenever because like I said, the song "Me and the Devil," he was recording that when he was about to die. Like that was like his last
yeah,
will and testament almost. So it's like you're not hearing the young Gil Scott hearing, you're hearing the old one who's lived a insanely chaotic life, and that he only has so much left in him, and he's putting what he has left into this song. Like that's also I forgot to mention Queen earlier too. Jesus, like yeah, Freddie
oh
Mercury.
yeah, Queen, yes,
Yeah, Freddie
yeah,
Mercury is
Freddie
another one of my
Mercury,
inspirations.
Brian
Like
May, and all them. Yes,
yeah, like I
yes.
mentioned Freddie multiple times in songs already, just because like he's
Hmm.
like I said, he's one of those people where like I realized if I was going to be on stage performing, like I need to be up there performing, not just being up there just to be up there and or to be happy that I'm up there. I need to be up there and like and showcase what God gave me, and that's where I kind of learned that from Freddie. So yeah, that's what I said. It's going to keep happening because I'm going to keep thinking of other artists that I forgot about. But yeah, Gil's to get back on. But yeah, Gil Scott Heron. He's one of the honestly like he needs to be taught in school. Like I know I when I was in college we had like a whole. That's why I'm mad I can't remember the song the song title, but we had a whole class like two or three classes literally just about one of his songs, breaking down the lyrics and breaking down what he was referring to. Like he's someone that should be
Hmm.
studied for American history because he was one of those he was an artist that I think a lot of artists can't do it, and something I strive myself to do, which is capture the time that you live in and like actually put a real honest spin on it, not lie and fabricate or make it up some puff piece or make some glossy song. Like no, actually capturing and putting like the soul into the music. Like
Hmm.
that's what I feel like he did a great job of. Like he'd put the revolution, he'd put the Black Panthers in there, he'd put the civil rights. Like he had that sound to him. So yeah, sorry.
Hmm.
Also forgot about Sam Cooke too.
Oh yeah,
Sorry. See,
oh
I keep
my
forgetting.
man Sam Cooke. Nah, hey man, we can go on and on about these artists, good brother, for sure.
Now we get honest. Oh my God, my granddad's gonna kill me. I forgot Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's my
Oh
band.
yeah,
That's my
yeah.
band. Like
My
they're the
my
reasons.
my favorite band ever, right there, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
They're and rightfully
Yes.
so because they're listen. I'm still like I have their greatest hits vinyl. I've been trying to find their vinyl, the reasons, like for that's been like my mission is to find that. Like my granddad has it, but he won't come up off of it. He's like, no, that's mine. So and like
Yeah,
I
keep
mean
it for
and
himself.
yeah, and the Godfather of Soul, James Brown. I forgot about him too. It's another
Yeah,
that's another one of those influences where I realized like, you got to get up there on stage and give it everything you got. Not because you never know when's going to be the
absolutely.
last time. You got to get up there and give everything you got because another show isn't promised. Another performance is never promised. Like you can have all of them lined up, but you never know what life will throw at you. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, sorry. Yeah, they're
No,
going to
no,
keep
you
popping
good.
in my head. Yeah.
No, you good. You good, man. You good. So you said you got a performance tomorrow, correct?
And then another one next
And
Thursday.
okay, and you perform by your solo or with the band?
Oh, with the
Like,
band. Like I'll
okay.
perform solo if I have to now. Like if the band can't make
Uh-huh.
it, I'll perform solo. But for me, like every time I perform, like I said, I want to put my best foot forward. So I try to always make sure the band's there because I know like by myself, yeah, I can rock the stage, I can have people moving, but there's a different energy whenever we have a live drummer and we got a guitarist and we got a bass player and they're killing it and ripping it. it's a different energy. Even like for my performances, they're different. So, but yeah, the next two will be, well, the next three will be with the band, and then hopefully, the foreseeable future will also always be with the band as well.
Okay, nice, nice. And so my next question is, where do you see yourself in the years to come, with the band, or with you, or just yeah, with you or the band, or let's just say you in general as far as your artistry.
Um, well, that's a very good question, because if you'd asked me this question 3 years ago, I wouldn't have told you I see myself here. Um, I wouldn't, as I said, like that's why I said earlier, I'm lucky and humble. Like for me, I sometimes just feel like a wanderer, like a nomad who's just wandering on a path, and I just keep
Hmm.
running into other nomads and other people, and they just happen to want to join in on it. For me, I just want to keep making music, producing and working with some of the artists that I've been fortunate to work with. Like right now, we just my one artist I collaborate with, her name's Catherine Stray. Like she's on the song Shell Shock with me and Faces, which to me are two of my best songs in terms of emotionally and even energy wise. Well, she's on more than just those two songs, but those are like the two best ones.
Hmm.
Um, like finishing up her project, getting that out there. Like my guy Sir Lord, helping him produce and finish up his album so he can get that out there. Because that's the thing. I don't like, if I do hit the road, I'm not trying to just hit the road just by myself. I'm trying to hit the road as like a team, like as a force, where it's like we all got insanely good quality music, that we can get out here and perform. Because like I know it from anytime like I go up on stage, like my name is Shel the Philosopher. Like most people when I go up there, they're almost laughing. But by the time I'm done performing, people are their sweat is they're sweating because they were moving. And when I'm coming off the
Nice.
stage, they're dapping me up, telling me I did a great job, because like as I said, like I put my all into this music, and I chose the name the
Hmm.
Philosopher because there's just really, because another one of my favorite rappers, because KRS One, like the song My
Yes.
Philosophy is the part where he's like, you're a philosopher, and
Yes.
it's like, yeah, I think very deeply. That's me. So
Absolutely.
um
Absolutely.
so in the next couple years, God willing, if I'm trying to manifest something, like I would hopefully, we'll be on tour, be moving, be going around performing, and just spreading the good word of music and art, and
Yeah.
trying to impact and touch as many lives as we can. But for me, it's like I just want to make sure, for nothing less, that I just keep making my family proud of what I'm doing, and just make sure I always represent them the way that they raised me to be.
Nice. Nice. And before we conclude this interview, good brother, can you let the listeners know and your followers know where they can find you and follow you at?
So I'm on all platforms musically. Shel the Philosopher on Instagram, Shel the Philosopher Facebook, same thing, Shel the Philosopher. We also have the new, like the Instagram page for Shel and the Wretched Hearts. Like we're gonna be getting that going. And honestly, if you want to find me in person, I be posting all the time about like the shows that not only the shows that I'm performing at, but the shows that I'll be attending, because there's other artists. As I said, like I think a big part of it is supporting and going out, and
Yeah.
actually going out to shows when it doesn't benefit me to do it. Like it might be out of the way, but I know there's some artists there that I want to work with. So you can catch me in shows. You can catch me on. Well, you can catch me somewhat on social media. I'm on there, but like I also try not to be on there too much, because I want to stay. I want to keep my feet firmly planted in this real world that we got going on here, because that's like the social media. I feel like it's a targeted in a way where I, well, put my conspiracy hat on for a moment. It's like they're trying to dumb us down in a way, and I feel
Mm-hmm.
like and make us ignorant to the things that are going on in the real world. And I feel like you know taking a break from there, or just being on there for a couple seconds, posting and getting off. That helps
Yeah.
me stay on there. So, but I mean, if people want to hit me up on Instagram and talk, Facebook and talk, like, or work, if they want to get in the studio with me, like I'm always down to collaborate and work on new things. So I'm But yeah, you can find me on all platforms. Everything is Shel the Philosopher. You know.
All right, all right. And ladies and gentlemen, you can find me once again on Facebook, my personal Facebook page, Malik Long. I have a Facebook page for my podcast, the Cool Podcast with the Cool Brother. Also, you can find me on TikTok, Cool Brother number one. Also, you can find me on Instagram, Cool Malik 82. Now that's been deactivated. I'm taking a break from Instagram. And if you want to be a guest on my podcast, hit me up on one of those platforms, social media platforms I just mentioned, and inbox me, and we can set up the interview and talk about whatever you want to talk about. Good brother, Shel the Philosopher. If you want to be a guest once again, let me know. And it was a pleasure having you on, and the pleasure was all mine, good brother.
Pleasure's on this side. Thank you so much, good brother. Appreciate you.
No doubt, man. On that note, man, you have a blessed night.
Thank you. You too.
Peace.
You ready? Please, studio.